Hi, I'm Rev Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I've been a Course in Miracles student for 43 years. I'm going through the lessons again this year. I haven't done that in a while, and I'm asking Jesus for clarity as I always do, and then I write from that clarity, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. So we're in the review lessons, review 2, and we're on lesson 86. The first part is only God's plan for salvation will work. And the second part is holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Jesus is spending a lot of time on the idea that God has a plan for our salvation. His plan is simple, and it's the only plan that will work. We must forgive, that is, let go of our grievances. That's it, just that. For me, this has been twofold. First, I must let go of my plan for salvation in the recognition that it will not work. Even if I didn't feel inclined to take brother's word on this, my life has proven to me beyond a doubt that my plan is not working. I may as well give God a shot at this. The second part is that I must recognize my grievances when they show up. There used to be so many and so obvious that I couldn't miss them. But the more I forgive, the more subtle the grievances that are left. Still, I become aware of them as soon as I want to. This can only mean that I'm hoping to hold on to the right to be aggrieved at times. But I'm also willing to let that useless belief go. Because I am willing, I have begun to recognize even the smallest of grievances. At first, I thought it meant that I was doing something wrong. It seemed that even as I forgave, the need for forgiveness grew rather than lessened. But those grievances were always there. It is only that now I'm willing to see them. Finally, I have stopped measuring the grievances as if some are bigger or worse. In truth, I'm aware of truth or illusion. It matters not that some illusions loom bigger than others. That is just an effect of the belief in illusions, not reality. Hating someone for what they did, but never saying it out loud, does not take it out of the category of a grievance. Nor does pretending to myself that I have forgiven it while all alone, I still hate, I still keep it from rising to the level of a grievance. Being upset over a situation, the weather, the future, my gardening attempt failing, or anything else is a grievance I can forgive. Being afraid that my child will suffer from the loss of a job, a sickness, a divorce, or any other part of their story that seemed like a natural consequence of my deep love for them, but actually it is a grievance. As I forgive these things, these beliefs, my mind returns to peace and my light shines brightly. It cost me nothing to forgive and brought me peace and joy. It helped everyone involved in the situation because our minds are connected. Thus, what helps me helps all. What has taken the longest for me to accept is that my plans to save myself through manipulating the story and finding others to blame is actually an attack on God's plan. But of course it is. What else could it be? His plan is opposite of mine, so for mine to work, his must fail. I refuse to see that in the past because recognizing it would cost me. I would lose the control I never had, and I would be left open to danger that doesn't exist. Okay, I'm laughing again. That we have control over anything other than our mind is hilarious. What have we ever controlled? Can you control whether or not your heart will keep beating? You can eat healthy and exercise and tell yourself that you're saved, but your heart will stop beating when it's time for this to happen, and you have no control over that. I used to think this was frightening and held on to the idea of control with both hands. But now that I've given it up, I'm happy and peaceful until I grab hold of some other situation thinking I need to control it. It doesn't happen too much anymore. At the level of the illusion, we seem to be endangered by many things. And yet, how can what happens in a dream really endanger anything? It is only when we forget that this is a dream, an ancient memory we have put before our eyes, that we be concerned about the future. Otherwise, we wait to see how the story unfolds without judgment. And so there is no anxiety, no terror. There's not even disappointment, perhaps just curiosity. This seems to be the case as far as I can tell. I will report back on what it's like when a lack of belief in the world becomes uncompromising for me. In the meantime, I will remember the truth as often as I can and ask for correction when I forget. The following steps help me to stay the course, so I use this often. By holding grievances, I am therefore excluding my only hope for salvation from my awareness. I would no longer defeat my own best interest in this insane way. I would accept God's plan for salvation and be happy. Thank you so much for joining me in this reading. I hope that you found it helpful. If you did, then please like it. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. And I'll be back soon with another reading. See you then.